everybody out there, this is Popular Stranger, and we are back at you again today with another MLB 16 The Show Diamond Dynasty online gameplay. We're also here for another edition of This Week in Baseball. It's our weekly series here on YouTube where we talk about everything going on in the majors over some Diamond Dynasty gameplay. Now, we missed an episode last week. My apologies for that. So we got a couple old things to catch up on. The MLB draft was 2 weeks ago. We'll go over the first 5 picks. Mickey Moniak, and apologies if I butcher any of these guys' names. Phillies select number 1 overall, Mickey Moniak. Number 2 goes to the Cincinnati Reds, Nick Senzel. Ian Anderson goes number 3 to the Atlanta Braves. Riley Pint goes to the Rockies, and Corey Ray from Louisville goes to the Milwaukee Brewers. So a lot of new guys getting drafted to different teams. Very exciting. I'm always interested in young prospects and just guys getting called up. That's always exciting to me, even when it's not for the Rockies. When I hear, like, such and such from such and such is rated number whatever overall prospect getting called up, that always interests me, and it's always fun to see. Another thing that happened last week, Freddie Freeman hit, I think it was the first cycle of this season, I'm pretty sure, but he hit for the cycle for the Braves, who have been playing better baseball as of late. And we're going to go through the standings and talk about all that stuff. We haven't done that in a while. Tim Lincecum, aka The Freak, is back in baseball. We all know that he did sign with the Angels, and he had a really, really good first outing. Wasn't really striking people out, wasn't missing any bats, but 6 innings pitched, only allowed 1 earned run. He got the win and only allowed 4 hits, so good to see him back. I think he pitches again either today or tomorrow, so we'll see if he can keep it up and have another good outing. Speaking of pitching, the Mets had a bit of a scare. Noah Syndergaard goes out yesterday with an apparent injury. He did see a doctor. I believe they had x-rays. No damage found in any ligaments, so that's great news for the Mets. They even think that he might be able to avoid a stint on the DL, so even better news. You get nervous when you hear things, especially big pitchers like that, with all the guys going through Tommy John surgery and whatnot. I got a little nervous for you Mets fans. I'm happy to hear that was good news. The Dodgers playing pretty good, and we'll talk again about the standings, but they swept the Nationals this week. The Cardinals swept the National League All-Star team, aka the Cubs. The NL voting, let's talk about it. Yadier Molina hasn't really changed much. Yadier Molina, Anthony Rizzo, Ben Zobrist, Chris Bryant, Addison Russell, Dexter Fowler, who is injured right now, so we'll have to see how that goes. I think he's only on the 15-day DL. Yohannes Cespedes and Bryce Harper lead the National League All-Star team, aka the Chicago Cubs. And then the American League, Salvador Perez, Eric Hosmer, Jose Altuve, Manny Machado, Xander Bogaerts, Mike Trout, Jackie Bradley Jr., Mookie Betts, and David Ortiz as the DH. So that's really like a Boston Royals team right there. But I really do agree with the AL voting for the most part. I think that's all straight. But that NL, I can't get over it. No way that Ben Zobrist should be over Daniel Murphy. No way that Chris Bryant should be over Nolan Arenado. I know I'm a Rockies fan. I don't care. It's ridiculous. And Addison Russell, I mean, even if Trevor Story doesn't belong over him, at least Corey Seager should. And that's, again, coming from a Dodgers hater in myself, but no way Addison Russell should be starting. And we'll have to see what happens with Dexter Fowler and his injury. So let's go over the standings. We're going to start, as always, in the NL West. And if you guys got any topics you want me to talk about in next week's video, please leave them down below in the comments section. National League West, 2 teams at the top, both playing really hot baseball. The Giants 9-1 over the last 10, 46-27 on the year for the record. I still think they're going to the World Series. I really like that team. It pains me to say it, but their batting lineup is fantastic. Johnny Cueto's pitching at a high level. Bumgarner's having a great season again. Justin Marja, he's bounced back from last season. If they add some arms in the bullpen, I know Andrew Miller, if the Yankees are sellers, was a team that he may land to. They could be really dangerous, and I think they might even win the World Series this year. But the Dodgers also, they might have something to say about that. It was not too long ago that my Rockies were a game and a half behind the Dodgers, and now we're further behind. But the Dodgers, winners of 6, The 6 straight, 8 of their last 10. Again, they swept the Nationals. They're back on track right now, 41-33, 5.5 back on the Giants. In the NL East, the Nationals with a 43-30 record. They've lost 5 in a row. They had a nice lead on the Mets, who were struggling for a bit, and still somewhat are. 4 out of their last 10 are wins, but they're 3.5 back on the Nationals. And the Miami Marlins, 6-4 in their last 10, 4.5 back. I really, really like that team. Marcell Ozuna, Christian Yelich. Stanton's been struggling a bit. He kind of found his bat over the past week. They have a really good bullpen, and they're getting some really good performances from the starting pitching. Watch out for the Miami Marlins. They could end up in a wild card spot possibly. The Chicago Cubs got swept by the Cardinals. We mentioned that earlier. Still have the best record in baseball, 47-23. Giants not too far behind them. Have a 9.5 game lead on the Cardinals, who are 38-33. They're pretty much going to probably run away with that division, barring any significant injuries. In the American League, the back and forth division, the AL East, the Baltimore Orioles have a 2-game lead on the Red Sox, 41-30 for the Orioles. They've split their last 10, 5-5. The Red Sox somewhat struggling here, guys. Losers of 3 straight, 3-7 in their last 10. Boston's got to step it up. The Blue Jays have been, they started off, they're creeping back in there. They're only 2.5 back. They got Tulo back off the DL. Watch out for those Blue Jays. They were my pick to win this division. Then I switched it to the Red Sox. I'm still going to stick to the Red Sox, so watch out for those Blue Jays. The AL Central, I talked about these guys many, many weeks ago. The Cleveland Indians, I really, really like this team. I don't think they're going to, win the World Series or anything, but I do think they're going to win this AL Central. They right now have a 3-game lead on the Royals, 4.5 game lead on the Tigers. They've won 6 straight, 7 out of their last 10, 41-30 record. Really good pitching staff. They got Mike Tomlin, Danny Salazar, Corey Kluber. They got the bats with Michael Brantley, and it's just a really, really interesting team. Obviously, their manager there, Terry Francona, has the experience. Watch out for the Indians. And then the AL West leaders, can't not talk about the Texas Rangers, guys. They're on fire right now. 8 of their last 10 games they have won. Now, I look at the standings and see the Astros are not too far. Well, I'm sorry, they are far behind them, but they're right behind them as far as being number 2 in the division. And that's interesting because last time we went through all the standings here, the Astros were, they're a lot of people's World Series pick. A lot of people had them running away with the AL West because of their performances last year. But they've crept back up. They're 10 games behind. Let's not, joke as if that's a small lead. But they were last in the division not too long ago. So the Astros have also won 8 out of their last 10, 5 in a row. But those Rangers, man, that's a really, really good team. If Yu Darvish can stay healthy, they got Cole Hamels. They got a lot of good guys performing with the bats. I really like the Rangers. They're defending their title in the AL West. And that's that. So that's the standings that we're going to go over for this week. We take the L in the gameplay here with my all-bronze team. We struggled with them, couldn't get any wins. We'll be back with another Team Builder episode, possibly this weekend. Still unsure of what theme we're going to go with, but if you have any last-minute suggestions, leave those in the comments section. I appreciate you guys watching the video. Have a great weekend. We'll be back tomorrow. Peace!